Ah, welcome to the first episode of Bookworms. This series is designed to show you my library of books. I love books. Ever since I was young, and my mom would take me to the library, and I would get books on cannibalism, lycanthropy, witchcraft. My tastes have matured over the years, but I just love books. I can't live without them. So, this series, I find it fitting to show you books from my collection that deal with diseases and viruses and infections because of the times we're living in. So, the first one in my collection is called Disease and History. And it's a nice book written by Frederick F. Cartwright. And in it, it talks about, of course, the Black Death, the mystery of syphilis, the impact of infectious diseases, mass suggestion, and man-made problems of the present and future. And I find that interesting because this book was, of course, written in 1972. But it's a good book. I like the cover. It's got that cool sort of black metal feel to it. And this is Disease and History. Put it right here. The next one is a great paperback. It's called The Woman with a Worm in Her Head. Other True Stories of Infectious Diseases. Yeah, this is a good book. We have in it stories of flesh-eating strep. We have chicken pox disasters, and a story from the name of the book is deals with a normal, healthy woman becomes host to a pork tapeworm that is burrowing into her brain and disabling her motor abilities. So, this is a real good book written by Pamela Nagami, MD, and it's called The Woman with the Worm in Her Head and Other True Stories of Infectious Diseases. So this is good to read right before bed. So I've got a couple books on, of course, the Black Death. Who doesn't, right? And I think this was one of those like book order, book club books because it's just got that feel to it. But it's good about talking about the Black Death and everything that goes along with it. Now, I have another book on the Black Death, and I got it because, again, you can't have too many books on the Black Death, but it's got this cool cover. Sometimes the cover is better than the book, and this one is no exception. It's got this cool dude up here playing some violin, and of course the skull and the rat. And it's sort of like a metal book. You know what I mean? It's got these cool skulls, the spread of Black Death in Europe. And back to this guy again. There's a few pictures in here, but I really like the cover. This Black Death book, written by Philip Ziegler, 1997, London Folio Society. So here's an interesting one. This is the Encyclopedia of Plague and Pestilence. Written by George C. Kahn. And inside of it, it's got all sorts of diseases and plagues like the Canadian smallpox epidemic and the Indian influenza epidemic. So lots of epidemics going on. The Maltese plague of 1813, Persian plague of 1772. And so it's a really interesting book. It's strange that there would be an encyclopedia dedicated just to the plague and pestilence. But One of my favorite books to kind of go through if I need some inspiration for some really dark lyrics, so to speak. This next book I've had since the 90s, and it's called Skin Signs of Systemic Disease. And this book has been around for a while. You can tell it's kind of beat up. It's kind of old. In fact, it's got this old, how you would check out a library book back in the day. But this book is good if you like want to like look at stuff and just like get real sick, because the photos in here are real disturbing. You got lymphomas, and there's a guy right here, and he's sort of like not doing too well. As you can see, I used to use these for my fanzines. So I would cut them out, put them in my fanzine, and off they go. But this book is interesting. It's got some really good pictures. This guy right here. Again, these things you kind of look at and you start like itching yourself because, you know, you feel like you have these. And this book is really good. I mean, it's not good, but it's interesting to look at. And why do we look at things like this? What is the fascination with? Oh. Heaven or hell? Which for you? Also, too, in all of my books, I have little pieces of paper ephemera, right? Like this. I just stuck on my book. And this other one here, where did it go? Maybe it's this one. I have birthday cards. In fact, this birthday card is from my friend Vivi and Patrick. And Patrick is the awesome artist who did the Bookworms logo. The animation you saw. So, thanks, Patrick. So, yeah. That's what I love about having books too, is I can put stuff inside and not find it for years and remember those days before those days. So that's it for today. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys soon for the next Bookworms. I think we'll do occult books.